The Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps, a venue where legends and heroes are made, and TCR Europe are here for our 8th consecutive time at this wonderful 7-kilometre ribbon of racing tarmac. It is time for TCR Europe Unboxed, episode number 2, and we've got plenty of drama and plenty of stories ahead of us. Don't go anywhere.
I love it here. The first laps I turned, it was an incredible sensation through my stomach. But yeah, I mean, the atmosphere here is incredible. All of the trucks, all of the cars here, and racing through the forest, it's pretty incredible. I think for me, it's now my new favorite circuit, just from the free practices yesterday. But yeah, I think the racing is going to be super exciting here.
The undulations, I think, that sums up Spa. It's an incredibly special track. It's incredibly cool to drive. It means a lot to me. You know, I've dreamt of this as a kid, watching Formula 1 on the TV, and now I'm driving here. It's surreal. Eau Rouge is an extremely special corner, so famous in the world of motorsport, and what a pleasure it is to drive. Every time you approach it, you get more confidence, but also more scared as you approach it. It gets faster each lap. Yeah, just an amazing track.
Beautiful and strange at the same time. It was strange emotion. I don't know how to call it, but it was very cool to have like the blanchiment, the rouge, doing like sideways. It was a sketchy one, but it was very cool.
Hello, dear viewer. Right, Spa-Francorchamps. We know it's beautiful, we know it's legendary, we know it's wonderful. I most certainly do, and I feel a bit like a child because somebody gave me the keys to this car and it gave me the opportunity to show you just how exciting this place is. So without further ado, let's go exploring 7.004 kilometres of absolute beauty. Right then, Spa-Francorchamps, always important is a race start. Every single time, this is going to be a crucial point for our drivers, and of course at Spa the first corner is the La Source hairpin. So here we come down in to said La Source hairpin. It's changed in recent years. There's gravel on corner exit. Will that change the dynamic of the car? We'll find out. It's a lot tighter than it appears on television, and it is one of the key passing and overtaking opportunities here at Spa. It's also vital for lap time. Why, I hear you ask? Because look at this. We run down into one of the most exciting corner complexes in the world. It's Eau Rouge Raidillon. Coming down here, there's a compression just before we get into the corner that you will feel. Now, in a race car, the stomach will dip, we'll use the curbs, and then you're scrabbling for grip. A TCR car, the rear end is very, very loose as we come over the hill, and then into Raidillon, catch the curb on the inside. Again, it's all about momentum to carry the speed down the super long Kemmel straight. This is vital for lap time. Slipstream is going to be an issue as well for our drivers in racing conditions, but here it's about bravery, it's about excitement, it's about the drama. So now we're running down into the Le Com complex of corners. This is a heavy braking point as we come into here. It's another opportunity to overtake, it's another opportunity to make a mistake. We need to be a bit liberal with a curb on the inside, and then the car wants to upset the balance onto the second section. A well-balanced car around here is absolutely vital, but into the third part of this section, this is a very important part. Again, I'm finding there's a lot of drivers complaining about a loose rear. The rear stability is very, very important around this circuit. Then down into Bruxelles, you're turning a lot later than you feel. The circuit starts to run away. I can already, even on this steady lap, feel the balance of the car, the body roll as well. If you're a little bit too hot into here, you're going to run very deep, and then coming down into the no-name corner, or speakers as it's now called, you have to swoop through here because you want to carry the pace all the way through the corner for a short stab down to what is one of my favourite parts of the racetrack. Of course, it is a double gauche, as it's now called. You can win a lot of speed, you can lose a lot of time at this section. You have to be heavy on the commitment in corner entry, carry the car through its 2 corners, but it's almost as if it's one. We run a little bit wide and then wait, turn the car in, kiss the curb, and run through to the next section. Here, another overtaking opportunity for our TCR Europe drivers. You can start on the outside becomes the inside, but it requires a little bit of cooperation from your rival. Touring car drivers cooperating overtaking? Not so often, but this is again one of the few opportunities around Spa for our drivers to make their way through the field, and we get into now one of the most critical sections of the racetrack. Why? These corners, this section isn't difficult per se, but the speed that you carry through here will reward you for the final sector of this lap. Here we have to be on maximum commitment because minimum apex speed is king. The more speed we can carry through here, we are now going to be absolutely flat chat until we get to the braking zone into the bus stop chicane. This is vital for our drivers. A high percentage of this lap is spent at full throttle in a TCR touring car. If you carry that speed, it will reward you with lap time. In racing conditions, this is an opportunity for drivers to slipstream and prepare for the move. But look at Blanchimont. This is not quite flat out in certain brands apparently, and maybe flat out in others. Feels sedate in our safety car, in a race car. I guarantee it is an experience. And then of course, last but by no means least, the bus stop chicane, another key overtaking opportunity, and our driver's last opportunity to find a way past and secure the position. But there we go folks, I hope you enjoyed that one. We're back in pit lane. That's a lifelong ambition complete for me, I must say. I hope you enjoyed the tour of the Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps here in TCR Europe. And now, time to qualify. In all the best television fashion, it's time for the big reveal. Who got the pole position? We'll find out. It is, of course, Felipe Fernández for the second time in a row and a new qualification lap record. Let's find out then who qualified where ahead of the first race of the day.
An amazing sensation. What a feeling. I didn't expect that. It happens, and I really don't know how it happens, but I did it, so I'm really happy. For myself, also for the team, we did an amazing job all the weekend. And here we are, we have the pole, so really happy.
So then, it's time to go racing. Can Felipe Fernández convert pole position into the long-awaited first victory? Let's find out. The racing action kicked off in 2025 at Spa-Francorchamps with Felipe Fernández in pole position. The run down to the La Source hairpin would of course be a crucial section of this race, and Santiago Concepcion on the outside line was the driver who took the greatest advantage, running all the way around Fernández to take an early race lead. Further down the pack, there was squabbling throughout the field, Julien Brichet being in the middle of a great battle with Juni Park. Further up though, look at Marco Butti diving to the inside, makes contact with our race leader in an aggressive move, taking one car but not quite enough to overcome and into the race lead. While Butti squabbled further down the pack, the Clairet brothers were involved in a mighty battle as Julien Brichet heads to the grass. Brichet back on circuit as Butti back in the attacking stance once again. Having a look to the inside of Concepcion, no way past on this occasion, the young Spaniard putting up a stout defence. It would all come to nothing though. Down into the bus stop chicane, Butti takes the race lead. Concepcion attempts to repass, but it would be advantage the Italian driver at the early stages of the race. Further down the pack, Eric Genet and Jimmy Clairet are coming together as one. Clairet holds position as Nicholas Taylor has a look to the inside of the La Source hairpin. No doing on this occasion as Teddy Clairet keeps a watching brief in the background as his brother does everything in his power to hold back the charging pack behind. No problems whatsoever though for Johnson Park. Around the outside goes the Solide Indigo Racing driver, Santiago Concepcion, desperately trying to hold on to that second position as Felipe Fernández buys into the fight. Light contact to the back of the Hyundai would cause a bit of drama for Park. Further into the race, tyre rub nothing new in the world of touring cars. That does little to hold back the Korean driver as Santiago Concepcion and now Ruben Volt get involved in this particular battle. Further down, Eric Genet to the inside of Nick Taylor, powerless, the Canadian driver, to do anything about the overtake from the Monlau Motorsport Cupra, as Jung Wee Park has his own battle. Filippo Barberi being the driver of attention on this occasion. Attention, though, would be turned very firmly to the front of the pack as a mistake from Jimmy Clairet pushes the French driver off circuit, and our championship leader has a difficult day from here on in. Further in the middle of the pack, there were several cars squabbling for positions. Overtakes aplenty here at Le Combe. Eric Genet can't quite stay on the racetrack in his defence from Jun-Sung Park behind. That would be the story of the day, as Ruben Volt would again head into retirement. The ALM Motorsport Honda in strife. Max Hart off of the racetrack. Ruben Volt out of the race car. Disappointment again for the Estonian with yet another DNF. Safety car would be called to clear that small issue on the track, and on the restart, Felipe Fernández heavily defensive from the charging pipe behind. Jun-Sung Park making a move into the La Source hairpin in an effective overtake. Felipe on the defensive stance from here on in, and again Clairet Sport in the dramas, and again it is more Eric Genet and Hyundai action. Second time of asking though, and Genet gets the job done again down into the La Source hairpin, where all of the overtaking seems to be taking place. All the way through Eau Rouge, the field are almost as one, but unfortunately for Jenson Brickley, it would be the scene of his retirement. Issues with the front of the car, bringing an early end to the British driver's endeavours in what would be a challenging weekend, it has to be said, for Monlau Motorsport. With that delay, another safety car and another perfect restart for Marco Butti at the head of the pack. The Italian driver in perilous form after a difficult weekend, while Santiago Concepcion does all he can to hold back the Solite Indigo machine, but can't do so. Marco Butti takes the win. Victor Fernandez has the strife. A battle and a pass into the final lap, final corner for second position, but it's all eyes on Marco Butti and MM Motorsport taking their first win in TCR Europe in what has been a commanding performance for the Italian driver.
I have to do because the team is doing a really good job in the night to repair my car and be on track for the qualifying. But after in the qualifying, I want to do the pole position, obviously for me, for my team, for the standings. But you know, the crash was really big, and also in the Eau Rouge corner, not an easy one. So I'm a bit scary. I don't have the good confidence to approach that corner, and I lost like 4/10 only in that corner. So we have first sector 2 and first in sector 3, and the ideal time was there, but we know we have the speed to be in the front also in qualifying. But now, yeah, we won the race doing a first lap like hell, and yeah, we are really happy, and thanks to the team, thanks to all my sponsors, my dad.
Hello everybody, and I am delighted to be down here with Clairet Sport. Teddy and Jimmy Clairet are going to give us a little tour of a very special team indeed. So I'm going to hand over to Teddy to talk us around this wonderful squad.
Hey guys, Teddy Clairet, Jimmy here. Welcome in our structure, I will say. We are quite a family team. We are working with my brother in the workshop during all the year to be able to race in TCR Europe. On our project, we are focusing to work with some customer in other championship like TCR Spain, and focus on ourselves, if I can say that, in TCR Europe. Jimmy's one and my car. As you can see, we try to do the same car. Like that, it's easier for everyone to be confused about us. This is Dad, our father, which is who is the most important person here, because we are doing everything, all three of us, working on the car, driving the truck, mounting the awning. We try to do everything by ourselves because we need to work like that. We want to work like that we enjoy racing this way, and we have to do it this way to be able to race, and we only want to focus on performance on track.
And we also work together all the year in the workshop, only with Dad and one or two mechanics sometimes, but we do everything all together.
Here we have the space,
the fuel space, important space, because the fuel on the car is one of the most important things in the car. So we have also the tires space,
which is a big work because we have a lot of wheels in TCR, so it's important to think on our different plan to go in quali, to go in race, to try to have the best. It's a part of the setup, I will say, on track, and it's one of the key for the performance. So we have to think in this space. Then we have a small area to chill a little bit, to eat, and to.
The most important is the coffee machine
and the beer here.
Yeah,
also.
and the beer. This is Mom. So we can see now if you want.
Yeah, because they are all shy. They don't speak English.
Yeah.
They are
Nobody speaks English. So Mom, say hi. Thierry, mechanics. Lucas, mechanics. Also, Marie-Amandine,
my wife.
And this
important
is the
person too.
And the camper of the parents. So we can chill, we can wash the teeth and.
Because additional to all of this, we are sleeping in the track. We don't want to go in hotel. We prefer to stay focused here. So some are sleeping here. My brother is sleeping in the head of the track.
Yes.
And
my wife.
The rest of the team is sleeping on top of the track. And finally, here is the place where we are doing video and data. With our engineer, and I think he's hiding also because he's a bit afraid of the camera again. But yes, here is another really important place because we have to get this area to be calm and not disturbing by anyone from the paddock, I would say. The truck, we do it ourselves because we think about, okay, we have to sleep in it, but we have to load the material, we have to load the car, so we try to think about all these details to be as cool, if I can say, as possible when we are on track, and that's it for our turn.
Thibaut.
The engineer, because he's
just introduce our engineers. This is Thibaut. We have only one. We have only one for the both of us. Only one because we talk open between us, so we don't have to have one person each. We talk together. We talk with Dad, with Thibaut, and we work like this.
On track, okay, we are opponents, but we always used to work as teammates and try to improve for both of us. And I mean, we are brothers, and we don't have the competitive, the wanting to be. I want to be in front of him. If he wins the race, I'm happier. I'm as happy if I win the race in the end. That's what we want, and we want to do it this way because it could be a bit strange way of working, but for us it's the only possible way to do it with our capacity, with our budget, because we don't have enough, I will say. In motorsport you never have enough, so we are trying to do as best as we can with what we have, and then the result is on the track, and that's it.
Hello everybody, I'm here with 19-year-old Canadian racing driver Nick Taylor of MM Motorsport. Nick, welcome, thank you for joining us today. I want to talk a bit about you. And firstly, you're our first Canadian in TCR Europe in our 10-year history. How does it feel to represent your nation on the world stage?
It's a pretty big honor, to be honest. Obviously, coming from North America, racing around Europe, it's something not quite common, I think. So to be the first one, I didn't know that, in fact. So It's something new, and it's quite exciting, to be honest, to be carrying the maple leaf all the way over here on some of the most iconic circuits. And yeah, I hope I'm able to carry the flag high.
Because obviously, geographically, we're a long way away from home. What's the feedback like at home? Do they know what you're doing over here in Europe? How are they taking the adventure that you're on?
Yeah, occasionally we do get some messages from some of the big national Canadian news channels that they've caught wind of what I'm doing over here, and only recently, maybe in the last few months, even maybe just the last year, that they start to really notice and understand, like, hey, there's this kid over in Europe from Canada representing Canada and achieving some good success. So, you know, I'm hoping to translate that to this European Championship.
I think it's fair to say that we all enjoyed race one. So how about a second race with a reverse grid? Because what could possibly go wrong? Tell you what, let's find out right now. Reverse grid race 2 would see Victor Anderson on pole position for MAGP. The big question is, can the Lincoln Co hold on to that race lead for the run down into the La Source hairpin? A great start in the middle of your shot. Teddy Clairet up in a second position almost instantaneously for Clairet Sport. A great start for the French driver, and he would leverage that one into a run into an early race lead up through Eau Rouge. It is advantage Teddy Clairet side by side between our new driver for TCR Europe, Sten Dorian. Pirigagi just loses out to Jimmy Clairet behind. The field fan through for the run down into Le Combe for the very first time. Clairet up in a third position. Jungwoo Park having a good start as well in the Solite Indigo Racing Hyundai Elantra and TCR up there in fourth place, as the entirety of the field are squabbling for track position. That's a little bit of an error for Nico Baldan. He rejoins the racetrack and leaves Nick Taylor absolutely no room to go. The reigning TCR Italy champion being disadvantaged in the early stages. It would be very much a day of recovery for him. Marco Butti, race one winner, contact into the side of the Hyundai in the early stages at the bus stop chicane. That wouldn't be the first time that we see Marco using all of the racetrack and perhaps a little bit more in his endeavours to make his way through the reverse grid pack. He did eventually achieve that overtaking manoeuvre, but would perhaps come under the investigation of the stewards as the race progressed. Santiago Concepcion uses all the racetrack at Le Combe and at Blanchimont as well. A liberal use of racing surface for our drivers, but up front, Marco Butti again deploying the aggressive middle pedal action in that MM Motorsports Honda to take the position away. Plenty of close racing throughout the field in what had been a dramatic Spa-Francorchamps weekend up to this part. Got almost more dramatic again. A rat-a-tat-tat goes Santiago Concepcion. 3 wide into Eau Rouge is never the wisest course of action, and thankfully Eric Genet decides it's perhaps not the time to have that fight. Concepcion, though, his dramas wouldn't be over just yet as he contacts Jenson Brickley. Brickley off into the gravel, and Concepcion in plenty of strife with a Monlau teammate Eric Genet. Light contact between the two of them as the British driver Brickley desperately tries to rejoin formation. Max Hart was another that was in strife. He and Nicky Taylor going very late to the inside. The PMA Audi, though, getting the job done on that occasion. Jungsung Park and our new driver Sten Pirigari side by side. ALM Motorsports and Solite Indigo Racing. No loss of bravery from either driver. But for Park, he'd be the one that took the advantage. ALM wouldn't have it all their own way, though, as their third driver, the third Estonian driver of the team, goes into retirement, while a fellow Honda of Marco Butti gives that place back to Victor Anderson and then takes it away again almost immediately. At the front of the field, it is another great squabble from all of our drivers. The two Solite machines interacting with each other perhaps a little closer than they would have liked on the racetrack. They would desperately be trying to find their own advantage, as Victor Anderson is desperately trying to hold on to third position. Jimmy Clairet on this occasion for the drag up to Le Combe gets the job done as the Frenchman pursues Marco Butti ahead. That would be a story that would have a dramatic conclusion later in the race, as Taylor tries to find a dramatic way to get past Jenson Brickley. No joy on that occasion, as sadly Julien Brichet says goodbye, as does Piramagi in the ALM Motorsports, and as does another one of the JSB Hyundais, this time Navarro pulling to the side of the racetrack. Ruben Volt managed to stay in the race a bit longer than we saw earlier on. Unfortunately, same can't be said for Marco Butti. A terrifying accident into Blanchimont on the penultimate lap of the race would be an unsatisfactory way for the Italian to end his Spa-Francorchamps adventure. One win, one heavy retirement, and a crashing testing to boot. Jenson Brickley couldn't find the bus stop chicane or enough of the middle pedal late into the race. That would be, sadly, another DNF for the British driver in what has been a challenging weekend of racing. It has to be said. Nothing challenging, though, about the performance from Teddy Clairet at the front of the field. The French driver picking up his first race victory since 2021 in what was a commanding performance, a family 1-2, as the podium's made up by his brother Jimmy in second.
I guess the key was the start. I managed to take a good one, and after T1 the move was done. I was P1, so I tried to focus on myself and to my rhythm. Victor was fair play also on the move, don't try to do something crazy. So then we try to escape a little bit from all the other together. And yeah, then car was great, the feeling was really good, and pace was here. So from outside, this kind of race could seem a bit easy, but in the car you're always pushing, trying to don't do any mistake, because you know that if you give an opportunity to one of your opponents, they will take it. So you have to be 100% focused on yourself, and that's today was a very good race. So I'm really happy, and sharing it with Jimmy, it's a cherry on the cake.
Marco Butti collected all of the fast corners with contact, then won a race, as did Teddy Clairet. It's been a dramatic weekend here in Spa-Francorchamps. I hope you've enjoyed TCR Europe Unboxed, and until next time, thank you for watching, and from all of us, bye-bye.